People say that I'm some sort of EV hater. Not true. I bought one. I'm getting a plug-in hybrid actually next week.
Hold up. There's a bit to process there. Brian claiming he's not an EV hater. He bought one. Got a funny feeling it was probably produced by a legacy US automotive manufacturer. Why? Well, otherwise he would have said, I own a Tesla or I bought a Tesla. And second, a hybrid. What? Why? Oh, wait. Virtue signaling points, of course.
But because I've owned them, because I've driven so many, and I talk to dealers like you, and by the way, many, many others across America, it's not my opinion. You see it. People come in, they ask questions, and then they either buy an EV or they try to return it for a hybrid. Do they not?
Listen.
So stopping again, notice he's talking about his conversations with car dealers. You know what company doesn't have dealerships? Tesla. So his perception about, quote, EVs is through the lens of EVs being sold by car dealerships, which means they're produced by the companies that I poke fun of 24/7, like Ford and Government Motors, who currently make shit electric vehicles relative to Tesla. Then again, it is kind of true. There are EVs and then there are Teslas. But this is important context. Brian's entire perspective, his viewpoint, his anecdotes are based on conversations with dealers who have to sell shit electric vehicles because they're trying to compete with Tesla. The companies with the dealership networks make shit electric vehicles. So what do you expect?
It's a disaster. I mean, I call it the biggest political blunder since Vietnam. I've been calling for an EV crash. We're here. We're seeing it. And listen, Farley's doing the right thing. Jim's a friend. You know, he was with Toyota. I'm a Lexus Toyota dealer, and I know Jim very well. He's a brilliant operator. He knows what he's doing, and he's got to protect shareholder value. You know, the value is dropping. The EVs they're producing them. They can't sell them. Hybrids are selling 10-1 on the floor. Consumers are coming in, and the reality of it is it makes sense. They don't need chargers. There's no infrastructure issues. There's no range anxiety, and they're more cost effective to operate. And I have to tell you, when we talk about mining minerals, which are all coming from the Ukraine and Russia, you know, you could build 25 hybrids with the minerals that it takes to build one EV. This is a brilliant move by Farley, and it's a brilliant move by Ford. And you know what? Toyota called it a long time ago, and they went their own separate way, and they knew what they were doing. You know, Toyota has always been on the forefront, and I think this is where the industry is going. EVs will grow. They'll be a part of the market. They're never taking it over.
Holy fuck, dude. Where to even begin? It stuns me. We're now in April 2024, and the conversation we've just heard, the narrative, is that electric vehicles are never going to be the dominant form of propulsion. And apparently now it's hybrids are here to stay. You know what's actually going on, by the way? Spoiler alert. Tinfoil hat alert. Are you ready? What I believe is currently happening is companies that have realized they're fucked and going bankrupt, such as Government Motors, Ford, and so on, have realized that they have a lot of loyal customers, and since the ship is already sinking and they're already fucked, they've thought to themselves, what can we possibly do right now to make a little bit of money over the short term before we end up at the bottom of the ocean? Wait, what if we trick our loyal customers into buying ICE vehicles that we've put a little battery inside, tell them it's good for the environment, they don't have to worry about range anxiety and charging, and dupe them into buying hybrids? Surely that'll work for a year or two at least before people realize it was a dumb fucking idea. And we already make ICE vehicles, so shoving a vibrator-sized battery in them is not going to be that difficult. It won't really disrupt what we're already doing. Well, let's do that. And let's poke our friends in the media, where we spend most of our advertising dollars, to propagate this narrative that hybrids are here, that hybrids are better, that hybrids make more sense than electric vehicles. Let's even have our friend Brian talk about the fact that he himself is buying a hybrid. Any guesses which company produces the hybrid? This shit is insane, guys. I mean, seriously. Hybrids are the worst of both worlds. This is not currently apparent to a lot of people because they don't understand what's around the corner. ICE vehicle sales will collapse. Cost to produce ICE vehicles is going to surge. At the same time that's happening, the cost for electric vehicles will continue to plummet over time, making them the no-brainer of no-brainers. What's happening right now with hybrid sales are consumers who are ill-informed and or very loyal to certain brands are being duped into buying hybrids, thinking they make sense. This is not going to end well for legacy automotive companies. And what's happening right now, people are getting very, very, very confused by what they see as interest in hybrid vehicles. What's actually happening is these companies strategically, over the very short term, are leveraging loyal customers, duping them, tricking them, fooling them into buying hybrids. I don't want to buy a Tesla. Tesla's shit. I'm going to buy a Ford. A Ford's got a hybrid? Oh, that's better for the environment. I can tell when I drive a hybrid and I think I'm a good person. Anyway, this is stunning to see. From an engineering point of view, hybrids make no sense. Economically, they make no sense. There's so many reasons why hybrids are going away. Yet here we are. Imagine for a minute, ladies and gentlemen, just an analogy. Maybe this will help illustrate the point. Imagine that smartphones, your Apple iPhone or whatever the fuck you use, imagine it didn't have a built-in camera, and instead there was a company out there called Orange or Pear, whatever you want to call them, who was selling a smartphone without a camera, but then also taping a digital camera to the smartphone. Okay, picture that. A smartphone with a fucking digital camera strapped to it with tape. That's a fucking hybrid. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. But there's people who are dumb enough to buy them. Not many, but enough. Holy fuck. Someone is more bullish than ever on electric vehicles. Sounds like somebody who has a brain.
It's clearly a huge subject of conversation. It's having a terrible year, right? It's down over 30%. The latest numbers were disastrous, according to some of the analysts. Corey Johnson, Chief Market Strategist, the Futurum Group, and Steve Wesley, Founder Managing Partner of the Wesley Group, a former board member over at Tesla, both with us. So, Steve, I'll start with you. People love Tesla. They loved Elon Musk's vision. Is Tesla going to rise from the ashes like a phoenix? Like a friend of mine said. I stole that. Is that what's going to happen, Steve Wesley, or not really?
Look, it's going to be tough. I'm more bullish about EVs than ever. But Tesla had a terrible quarter, and it's not a complete surprise because 3 of their major facilities in Berlin, they had arson. The plant was down for a week. No one saw that coming. China, they knew the plant was going to be down for 2 weeks for New Year's, and then you've got the plant in Fremont was down. Well, they did the refresh for the Model 3. But the big story here is the Cybertruck has been a flop so far. We'll see if they can fix that. And they're late on the $25,000.
Hold up a second. Now, there's no question a lot of people were very disappointed with Tesla's production and, more importantly, delivery numbers in the first quarter, although one quarter does not make a trend. But the Cybertruck, a flop? What the fuck is this guy talking about? Everyone who's anyone, according to lovers of celebrities anyway, has got one or wants one. Everyone from Kim Kardashian to Nate fucking Diaz flexing their Cybertrucks on social media. Rappers, athletes, people who are famous just because they're famous. People who launched their careers with a strategic adult film that accidentally leaked. This is a bizarre thing to hear from Steve. Now, he surely can't be talking about the pace of the production ramp because we knew it would be slow. Never been done before. Tesla flagged this, and I mean, even if you have half a brain, you can figure that out. Oh, a vehicle with a stainless steel exoskeleton. Literally no one's ever done that before. It's probably going to be hard to figure out how to ramp that up quickly. What is he talking about Cybertruck being a flop? Are we on the same planet? Steve, what the fuck?
Vehicle. That's what they need to do. But despite all the hardship, they still managed to produce more EVs than BYD last year, so give them credit for that. But I think this is going to be a choppy year. All eyes at Tesla have to be on how soon do they get that 25K vehicle into market, and how successful is it with consumers? We'll see.
And I'm not sure that the Cybertruck was ever supposed to be the moneymaker for the company. I think that was sort of the wow piece. But the cheaper model that they're working on now, and that's sort of one of the reasons they saw the weakness. You mentioned arson, you mentioned some disruptions in production, and also a change in focus to the cheaper model, the $25,000 model. Corey, do we see something great that could emerge from Tesla? Because everybody, so many of our bulls that come on are turning and saying, I don't know anymore.
A lot of these alleged bulls were actually just trend chasers. It is pretty funny watching people capitulate and drop one by one. Too many emotions, too little reason, too little perspective. 5-10 years from now, these people are going to be very fucking quiet. And I do have to give credit to the few folks who are still quite bullish. And I'm not saying this from a point of view, just be deluded and never take on new information. I'm saying people that have got a brain and conviction, have thought about Tesla over the long term, still see incredible upside. Not just in the electric vehicle business, but more importantly around autonomy, AI, robotics. Credit where it's due, from Dan Ives to the folks at Morgan Stanley, they still get it. But it is true, a lot of folks who were previously very bullish are having a tantrum. I won't name names here, but I'm sure a few of you folks can imagine a couple of examples. Everything's Elon's fault, Elon bad.
Steve mentions the Fremont facility, and I was actually driving near there the other day and saw a Cybertruck ahead of me. And I texted a friend who's a car geek, and I said, what are the odds there's a woman driving that car? And she texted me back saying, close to zero, it's a bro car. And it really does speak to the limited market that the Cybertruck has. And it...
What the fuck, dude? Now, it's true, you're not going to find huge numbers of women in terms of percentages driving Cybertrucks, but half the entire planet is a limited market? What the fuck, dude? Obviously, Kim Kardashian's not a woman either. She hasn't been out and about flexing her Cybertruck constantly, nor Lady Gaga, nor no, that has been happening. Awkward. It's true, Cybertruck is not for everyone. That's what Tesla's mass market vehicles are. 3Y, the next gen vehicle, for everyone. Cybertruck, not for everyone. But you know what happens when people see Cybertruck? It draws attention to Tesla's other products as well. Husband says, holy shit, it's a Cybertruck. That thing's sick. Wife says, bro, that's uglier than you. Guy says, I don't care. I'm going to get one. And wife says, that's fucking ugly. No. And he says, listen, bitch, I'm getting the fucking Cybertruck. She says, don't call me bitch. He says, I was joking. And then they live happily ever after. Later, after he takes delivery of the Cybertruck, wife says, this is pretty cool inside. Maybe I'll start driving the Cybertruck. Although, what else do they make? Next minute, she's ordered a Model Y. I'm just kidding. She's probably ordered a Cybertruck herself. I don't think people are truly appreciating the second order effects of Cybertruck. It is a fucking rolling billboard, an attention magnet for Tesla. Not for Cybertruck, but for Tesla.
It matters because of the resources the company put towards that. As Steve points out, rather than spend the time and resources and effort and the thoughts of the great mind of Elon Musk to devote those thoughts towards doing something that's going to grow in the market instead of something going to be really cool that he thinks is cool to look at. That's what the company has done instead of doing the thing that's going to help them out.
Did you know that it is possible, wait for it, ready, to simultaneously develop a Cybertruck, finalize production systems, and also be working on a next generation vehicle platform? I know this is a crazy concept, but how about I illustrate it this way? Did you know that it's possible to scale the world's most profitable, technologically advanced, highest volume electric vehicle manufacturer while also developing and nailing reusable rockets, while also working to solve autonomy? Yeah, crazy concept, I know, but yikes. I also think a lot of people are underestimating how commercially successful Cybertruck will be in the long term in terms of volumes. It's going to take time, as I said in the past, but bro, it's nothing close in terms of what it can do.
Out here, and I'll beg to differ with Steve out of great respect, but it is true. All the factories you mentioned were the difficulties that they had in the factories, and yet the overproduction. If you look at the numbers, they had over 40,000 more vehicles produced than sold. That's the biggest difference they've ever had between the production and the sales. And it really does suggest that they've exhausted, to some degree, the sales that they can achieve. They've hit some really big numbers here, bigger than anyone ever has in electric cars. But they've never been able to produce so much and sell so little by comparison.
I think too many folks are reading too far into the tea leaves here. Now, look, it's possible if next quarter Tesla produces 60,000 more vehicles than they sell in the next quarter 80,000, we get a problem, folks. But it's also possible that the automotive industry, wait for it, is highly cyclical. Spoiler alert, it is. Check out historical data on vehicle sales over time, over the last few decades, and you'll notice it's not smooth. You have huge waves, peaks and troughs. In addition, Q1 typically weaker than Q4 historically. There's plenty of data to back that up. In addition, it's also possible, spoiler alert, not possible, it actually happened, that we have seen unprecedented interest rate increases. Never before in the history of the Federal Reserve have interest rates increased so much in such a short span of time. Literally never before. Producing unprecedented economic pressure. This says nothing about electric vehicles and consumer demand for these products and everything about consumers' willingness to purchase them at this point in time. These are very different things, and I think a lot of people are confusing themselves. There is no question. Companies are facing economic headwinds. Consumers are delaying their intent to purchase electric vehicles. They're feeling the pinch. Some can't get finance. Others, even though they could get finance, are like, oh, fuck it, I'll wait. Others just think, you know what, the economy is not great, I'm going to wait. Again, how can we know this? Ask consumers or read some of the surveys that have been done globally. Roughly 2/3 of all consumers, probably more by now, intend on purchasing an electric vehicle in the next 5 years. This is an extremely important data point. Between now and then, many more consumers who are on the fence or not considering purchasing an electric vehicle will change their mind. So much of the narrative right now is focused on the headwinds as opposed to what's out the other end. Stunning. But again, a lot of people who are capitulating, I think, don't really have a strong thesis. They don't understand the precipitous cost declines on electric vehicles as they scale up, as more innovations occur in batteries, in manufacturing, plus economies of scale themselves. And at the same time this happens, more electric vehicles being sold, less ICE vehicles, meaning ICE vehicle prices will go up at the same time EVs go down, creating an accelerating death spiral. It's amazing how emotions just cloud people's ability to reason. I mean, just stunning. The narrative we're now starting to hear, Tesla has exhausted demand. Oh my God, bro. I'm here to tell you folks, Tesla's going to sell every single vehicle they produce all decade. Let's see what happens next quarter and next quarter and next quarter. 12 months from now, 24 months from now, 36 months from now. I've got a funny feeling that Tesla's vehicle deliveries and production are going to continue to trend higher. which runs counter to the idea that they've exhausted their demand. Electric vehicles are happening. They're going to be close to 100% of the new vehicle market about a decade from now. These things are obvious, at least to some folks. Amusingly, of course, most of the discussion now centered around Tesla vehicle deliveries and production, everyone ignoring autonomy.
Yeah, look, there's the low-hanging fruit, the people who everybody was on board. I want a Tesla, that's the low-hanging fruit those people all bought. You have stiff competition in China, and where they have a lot of subsidies and tax credits and ways for Chinese companies. And the idea here is that these Chinese companies, BYD goes back and forth with how many they produce versus Tesla. The landscape has changed. Tesla's not the only player in town anymore. So the way for this to succeed would be more EV demand. That's what you need. And Steve, is that going to help Tesla? Is there going to be more EV demand for everything? We're not really hearing that from the likes of Ford and GM. They're focusing more on hybrids these days.
Look, there's absolutely going to be more EV demand for the rest of our lives.
Trigger alert, Steve Wesley with some facts. What is going on with this hybrid narrative, bro? Oh, wait, I know what's going on. The automotive companies tricking loyal consumers into buying ICE vehicles with a little battery because it's easy for them to produce those.
There's about 80 million cars sold globally a year. Last year, about 14 million were electric. That's a huge number. This year, it's heading to 18 million. That's going to be over 25%. That's an inflection point by any standard. So more EVs are going out. The question is, who's buying them and what happens when you have more competition in the market? And the reality is, Tesla has owned the US market. They've done pretty well in Europe, pretty well in China. The Chinese are now coming with a vengeance. BYD and a lot of firms most investors haven't even heard of, like Li Auto, Geely, have great cars. And what's going on here is BYD is basically just owning the sub-economy market. Right. That's basically 10,000 to 25,000.
By the way, Steve's absolutely correct here. On the low end, the arse end, half the price of a Tesla, a third the price of a Tesla, BYD dominating. And most of their sales currently in China. Just you fucking wait till they start exporting to other parts of the world. Companies today that consumers think of producing budget vehicles, economical vehicles, e.g. Toyota, Volkswagen, they're fucked. BYD is going to eat their lunch.
Tesla's got to get in that $25,000 market. I think they will. It's just a question of how long will it take.
Yeah. And Steve, I'll give you a second to think about this, but if you had one sentence to tell Elon right now, I'd like to know what you would say to him. Corey, what names do you think are best positioned? And by the way, I disagree with you because I think that the Cybertruck, all you need is one soccer mom to say it's great, and then all the soccer moms will buy it.
Find me that soccer mom. I'm all for it.
Well, listen, I was never a minivan person because my kids would say, well, you're a soccer mom. I was like, yeah, but I like a monster truck with big wheels. Like, I couldn't be seen in a minivan. That was not my look. My look would be a Cybertruck.
Well, now that's going to get rather awkward. I guess previously claiming that no woman would drive a Cybertruck, and now there's a woman on the air claiming that she would drive a Cybertruck. How awkward. How very awkward. Steve's fucking laughing. Anyway. This is a classic interaction. Let's see how it ends. These three facial expressions tell quite a story.
And I think there are a lot of moms out there who they go weightlifting and whatever. And I think moms are evolving into something cooler. And so I think that could happen. What are your best bets when it comes to EVs? Which ones do you think will lead in the race, Corey, quickly?
Well, I think looking away from Tesla is to Steve's point, right? There are a lot of electric cars being sold, electric vehicles being sold. And if you go out, if you take Tesla's results out of electric vehicle sales, you see that they're still rising by well over 30% in the last year. So there's terrific growth across the industry in electrics. Now, did Ford back off their production a little bit? Yeah, they have in the margin. But generally speaking, we see big growth in electric vehicles across the board, and all of the other companies are doing really well with it.
All right.
Except that none of them are making any money at all selling electric vehicles, except for a few companies within China, BYD among them. Thin margins, but at least they're making money. So doing really well. They don't have scale yet. They're trying. And they don't have profitability yet. They're trying. I don't think most of these companies are going to make the transition to high volume profitable EV production. Some will, miraculously, maybe. Boy, oh boy. It seems that Tesla is currently out of favor among many on Wall Street, which is fucking delicious. Still buying with every spare cent. You guys have seen FSD V12.3, right? Thought so.
And last but not least, Steve, what would you say to Elon Musk today?
Get the $25,000 car into the market as soon as possible.
Totally agree. Now, it's important to understand for those who are unaware, Tesla's next generation vehicle platform is what we're talking about here. A platform for multiple vehicles around the $25,000 range, including a dedicated Robotaxi, plus other variations to be sold to consumers. And not just a single model, just like Model 3 and Model Y are variations on the same platform. You've got an SUV, you've got a sedan. There's likely to be a handful of variations on this platform. But the point is that they will be able to produce a variety of ultra mass market vehicles around that $25,000 US starting price. All of this discussion about short-term weakness, demand, sales, people are going to forget any of this conversation happened once Tesla's next-gen vehicle platform is ramped and pumping out vehicles.
That's where every moment of energy should be spent. Dial down the controversy, get that car in market. That's going to determine the future of the company.
Great.
Now, last quarter, last earnings call, we heard from Tesla. They'd almost finalized the production systems for the next-gen vehicle platform. That's the one thing I'll be paying most attention to this quarter. I can visually see what's happening with FSD, so I don't need Tesla to tell me about the progress, the capabilities. It's mind-blowing. But the next-gen vehicle, I'm very curious. Have they finalized production systems? When are they building out their trial production lines in Austin? What's the timing on that? As Tesla said, they are between growth waves. So until the next-gen vehicles are ramping up, I don't see volumes moving too meaningfully in an upward direction. If I'm being honest, I hope the next-gen vehicle is delayed for unforeseen reasons, disappointing a lot of investors, causing a lot of panic so I can keep buying at these levels. But I'm not going to be counting on that. Oh, hey, it's Future Steven. Well, compared to the guy you just heard from seconds ago. In case you don't know, I don't record my videos every single day and publish them every single day. Some are actually pre-recorded ahead of time, and this was one of them. Turns out that after I made comments about hoping that Tesla's next generation vehicle would be delayed or investors would panic, blah, 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 Reuters published some fake news claiming that Tesla had cancelled their next generation vehicle, and investors did panic, and then soon after, Musk debunked the lies from Reuters, and Tesla stock, having taken a dive, rebounded pretty strongly. Just goes to show how quickly sentiment can shift, even around fake news. And we did get an update. On the 8th of August, Tesla's Robotaxi will be revealed. That is the vehicle of vehicles, one of a handful that I expect will be produced on Tesla's next-gen vehicle platform. Shit is about to get real. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. It's an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point and something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy. Wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, Snake Oil Salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link at the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links to the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.